Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am recording on my Insta360 X5 camera, so I cannot see what I'm doing. But today we are going to talk about 10 female bikers that you should have heard about, because we hear a lot about all of the MotoGP riders that are men, but I don't know about you anyway, but I never hear about women motorbike riders. So I've got some research and we're going to talk about some of the people today, but I feel like putting more names out there will make more women want to get into biking. They can see how good some women bikers have done in the field and they can feel a bit more able to do it. They don't feel like they're gonna fail, because obviously everyone starts at a different place and everyone takes time to learn how to ride a bike, and it takes different people different amounts of time to learn how to ride a bike. So seeing women at this level is uplifting, I think the word would be. The screen turned off. I don't like it with the screen off, but it says it's still recording, so let's hope it is. Okay, so we're going to start off with Maria Costello. She's got an MBE, so she's not only a good rider, she's also smart. But she's the only female motorbike racer with an MBE after her name, which means obviously she's pretty special, which means you can still have both lifestyles. I feel like a lot of people think that motorbike riding takes up a lot of time, but honestly, when you love it as much as most people do, they find the time. Even if you think that you won't have any, if like you're in university like Maria Costello, you can find the time. She's proof of that. So the next person we're going to look at is Laiasanz. But she is a trails and enduro superstar. She's won the Women's World Trail Championship 13 times, and she's won the European Championship 10 times. Like, that is insane. That is very impressive. So, one that might not be as well known, I mean, I don't know any of these, that probably says more about me than anyone else, but this lady is she's from quite a while ago, not that long ago, but a couple decades ago, and her name is Beryl Swain. She was the first solo rider to compete in the Isle of Man TT. That is insane. That was in 1962. So, quite a while ago. And I've looked at the pictures of the bikes they were riding back then, and the wheels are about this thin. I'm not even exaggerating. They're probably even thinner than what I'm making them out to be right now. She did it on a 50cc racer. That's crazy if you think about it. We have 1,000cc motorbikes racing in the Isle of Man now, and she was on a 50cc racer. That is insane. This part I didn't know. So she finished 22nd in a field of 25 in the ultra lightweight class before motorcycling's governing body pulled the plug on female entrants, deeming the TT too dangerous for solo women. The fuck? So it's too dangerous for solo women but not men. Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, I feel like people should just be able to decide for themselves whether they think it's too dangerous for them or not, because if you compete in the Isle of Man TT and you don't think it's going to be dangerous, then you are just stupid, because the amount of people that die every year in that race is insane. Like, someone dies almost every year. So it is a dangerous sport, but that doesn't mean that like women can't do it. Like, obviously, I know obviously this has probably changed now and women can do the race now, but I feel like you could just ask and if they want to do it, then let them do it. It's not like they don't know what they're doing. If she's obviously done it before, and she came 22nd, so she didn't even come last. She knows the dangers, she knows what she's doing, so yeah, that's a pretty good one. So the next woman, number 4, is Avalon Biddle. So she's a much more present rider. She was the reigning Women's European Cup winner in between 2014 and 2016. That might be wrong, but she held it for 2 years at least, and she's still racing now, I believe. Let me just check. Oh, so she is still racing. This year's actually her first year back after having her first child, so that's pretty amazing. Yeah, just goes to show that you can have all different types of lifestyles, no matter what it is that you want, because obviously some women dream of having children and raising their children, some women dream of having a career and following their career, but that doesn't mean that you can't still ride bikes. Unless you want that as a career, then make it your career. Push yourself and you can get there. A lot of people worry that because they haven't been training since they were about 5 years old that they can't do it, but I think with enough training and enough will to keep training, to keep putting in a lot of work, then I think you can do it. You just got to believe that you can do it. So let's get on to number 5. So number 5 is Ashley Fialek. She is a retired motocross rider. So she won the 2008 WMA Pro National Championship. Then she won 3 more national championships, followed alongside 2 gold medals at the X Games in the Women's Moto X Super X in 2009 and 2010. She retired at only 22 years old. That's pretty crazy. I wonder why she retired. I mean, it's a pretty dangerous sport. That's probably the reason, is that some people don't think that the pros outweigh the risks. So that's fair enough. There is a lot of risks with biking, and I would never judge someone if they decided to one day hang up their helmet and never touch a bike again, because it can completely derail your life. It worries, obviously, everyone that cares about you. So if you decide one day that you don't want to do it anymore, then nobody should judge you for that. You're just choosing to take care of yourself, and nobody should judge someone for having a motorbike, because although there are risks to having a motorbike, there's risks in everything. So there's obviously more risks. There's more risks that you're going to get hit when you're on a bike, but you shouldn't only focus on the risks when you're trying to decide something, because, well, to me, the pros outweigh the risks with biking, because biking is the first thing that has ever made me feel confident, is the first thing I've ever been passionate about, and I don't think I'd trade it for anything. And if one day it does end up causing something, then that would have been my burden to bear. Like, I chose to have a bike, I chose to keep riding despite knowing the risks. Although if I get hit by a car and it's the car's fault, then obviously that's not my burden to bear. But you know the risk, and bikers pretty much most of the time know that what they're getting into with other cars when they're on the road, because cars are not observant, they will not see you, so you have to go out there thinking that they can't see you, because they won't. They don't even look. Most of the time they don't even look. So you just gotta know what type of things to keep an eye out for when you're out on the road. Okay, number 6 is Maria Herrera. She's a Spanish racer. She was the only female rider in the 2017 championship. That's pretty impressive. I'd love to do track racing, to be honest, but they are so expensive. So if I'm gonna practice riding, it will be on the back roads or in Wales, because Wales is just better. There's no police, there's barely any police around there. So yeah, obviously starting from a young age does give you more of an advantage. It's the same with like F1 or like drag racing or anything like that, starting from a young age can always help, and it always is a lot of help. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try when you're older just because you haven't been riding as long as some people have. Because 10 years ago, I would never have even sat on a bike, and now I love bikes. So I wouldn't have been able to start back then. So now I can. Not that I'm planning to become a motorbike racer, but if I wanted to, then I'd obviously put in the effort and not just give up because I haven't been riding as well. Number 7 is the new Paliwal. That is definitely not how you say it. Just butchered that so badly. So I don't know how old this is, but so it says outside of India, she may not be famous, but in her country where there's an estimated 37 million motorbikes or mopeds, she was arguably the most famous female rider in the country. And it came from the fact that she was the only female biker in Jaipur. It's definitely not how I say it, I do apologise, but that was her home city, and she was the only woman who had a bike. That is pretty insane to think about. Being the only female biker in your city would be, like, it'd have its pros and cons, because sometimes I do just want to go on a ride with girls because they are a lot more chill than boys. But I feel like if you are the only woman in the entire city, you're not going to find any women to ride with, so you'd only be able to ride with men. The biker community is a very safe community to be in. It's a very protective community, so I'm sure she'd be fine if she has her own group of people. She had links with the Harley Davidson dealership, which resulted in a sponsored trip across India, taking in every Harley dealership. However, she died. However, it ended in tragedy when she tragically died in a road accident en route to one of the dealers. That was a plot twist and a half, wasn't it? R.I.P. Queen. You were a legend. Number 8 is Melissa Paris. So she got first place finish at the Barcelona 24-hour endurance race and WERA West Superbike champion in the States. She also raced in the BSB at Brands Hatch, becoming the only female to test Honda's MotoGP M1 race bike, and was the first female ever to qualify for a World Supersport race. Just, like, imagine being her. Imagine going on the internet and reading the first female to do anything. That must be such a great feeling, especially when it comes to male-dominated sports. Being the first female to do anything in a male-dominated sport must be so... I don't know what the word is. Fulfilling? Exhilarating? Something like that. Like, it's like... I feel like fulfilling is the word I'm looking for. Probably isn't. But, yeah. I'd love to be the first woman to do anything. Maybe the first woman to own 200 cats. Bet you didn't think of that one. JK, I only have 3. Okay, number 9 is Elena Myers. Elena Myers was the first female to win an AMA Pro Racing road race, the first to win a professional race of any kind at Daytona, and was the youngest female ever to enter the AMA Racing Series. Bro, after I've got all that, I'm retiring. That is my peak. That's crazy, of course. So she publicly set her sights on riding in MotoGP, however, a lack of funding saw 2016 spent on the sidelines. Of course, because there is no funding for women in motorsports. But yeah, even just getting the first female to win that many professional races, as well as being the youngest female ever to even enter a racing series, I'd be like, well, I'm done. My CV is packed full with the amount of shit I've done, so I'm retiring now. goodbye. That is very impressive. Okay, number 10 is Jenny Tinmouth. She is British and she is the fastest female lap record at the Isle of Man TT, and she did that in 2009 and then beat her record in 2010, and it has not changed since then. She had a speed of 119.95 miles an hour around the Isle of Man TT course. That is insane. Because if you've seen videos of the Isle of Man TT, it is not an easy race. It is not an easy course. Going 119 miles an hour on a lap is insane. So alongside that, Tinmouth has also claimed lots of female... That was my cat sneezing. She's currently staring at the wall. Oh, she's gonna sneeze again. You good, bro? So she also claimed lots of female firsts in track racing too. So first female to enter and qualify in the British 125 GP Championship, Supersport Cup Championships and BSB. First female to lead and score points in a British Championship race. First to claim a podium in Supersport Cup Championships. And the first female to race in BSB. That is a very good resume. Oh! She passed away. In 2024. It says she passed away in 2024. Wow. That is crazy to think about, that there is not many. We've got our top 10 and 2 out of the 10 are not alive anymore. That's pretty crazy that she managed to set that record in 2010 and she still holds the record now. That is insane. But those are the 10 women motorbike riders for today. I did not know any of them, and I just wanted to make this video to try and encourage more women to get into riding, and to encourage more women, maybe even young girls who are thinking about getting into riding early, or who already are in riding early, that think that they aren't going to get somewhere down the line. These women show that you can get somewhere down the line. It is obviously a lot harder for women. It always has been, but I think giving up is the worst thing you can do. You just keep fighting and you keep pushing back and you will get there. You've obviously got the talent if you've got the passion, you can train and you can get the talent. I don't know if that makes sense, but just don't give up. Don't let anybody else tell you that you can't do it just because you're a woman. And don't let anyone put you down or try and stop you from racing just because you're a woman. Women can do just as much, maybe even more than men can, and there is nobody that can stop them from doing anything. So let this video serve as a reminder to never give up, no matter what, because all of these women managed to achieve amazing things even before they were, say, 40 years old, and you can do that as well. So yeah, don't give up. Keep pushing yourself, keep pushing to achieve your dreams, and you will get there one day. Even if the dream changes, even if you decide one day that you don't want them anymore, then that's fine, that's your choice. Do not let anyone else dictate your life. You only have one life. There's no point in living it by the views of other people, because they do not matter. It is your life. You do what you want to do. But yeah, that's my little pep talk for today. I say but yeah a lot, don't I? That's my little pep talk for today. I hope you gained something from hearing about these women, and I hope you gained something from watching my video, and I'm really happy you came along. Thank you, and I will see you again soon. Bye.